were servants, and women couldn't vote. So if they
What's good, y'all? How y'all doing out there? Hope everybody's had a blessed week. Hope everybody's had a blessed Friday. It's almost time just to kick back, or it is time actually, kick back for the weekend, enjoy a good weekend. College football, NFL, whatever you're into. I know a lot of the young cats seem like they ain't really into sports like that, which is wild to me because that's how we grew up. Like, we grew up straight. You had to be listening or watching, NFL, college football on the weekends. So it's always wild to me whenever I mention watching sports and like the young cats are like, "You watch football?" And I'm like, "You don't watch football? Come on now." Mikey D, Mikey Paul, how you doing, brother? I've noticed that you've been supporting lately, jumping in the chat last night, commenting on some music stuff. Like, I appreciate that, bro. Real talk. That's one of the reasons that I wanted to jump on here tonight. Really. Excuse me. But yeah, I really wanted to jump on here and just tell everybody that's been tuned into the Facts No Fences podcast, like, the support means a lot because I did a couple interviews with JC. He's been growing. I know since I first met him, he's grew, I think, 300 subscribers since then. Like, he's been grinding, doing a whole lot of interviews. The interview that he did with Big Smo, I've saw some clips from it on Facebook that are, pretty much viral for Facebook, like getting a whole lot of likes, getting a whole lot of comments. Like, it's real dope to see that. Um, Whenever he had mentioned the podcast stuff to me, like, it wasn't a new thought. Actually, I'd had some homies probably 6 months to a year ago that said, "Hey, you should do a podcast." And I wasn't really sure why they thought I should do a podcast. And particularly, I don't know if it was because I was getting older and they was like, "Man, you need to chill with the rap, do a podcast," or if it was because, like, conversations with them, like, they realized like I had a good amount of knowledge whenever it came to the music, and maybe they thought that it would translate into the podcasting world. And I think that's kind of what it is with me with podcasting that makes me at least decent at it, is that I know a good amount about the subject that I'm talking about. So, if we were to get on here and talk about sports betting, I'll probably be decent at a podcast because it's something that I take interest in. Like, and that's a reason for me also venturing into my solo podcast, because there's certain things that I know people out there. I got the voice for a podcast. I appreciate that, Larika. Real talk. Um, I know, like, there's certain things that I'm interested in, like world news, that whenever I was younger, I didn't care about. Like, I just looked at politics like I can't do anything about it, so why care? But nowadays, like, I get more into it. I get more into the conspiracies and really seeing what's going on out there in the world and kind of taking it in and really seeing what it is that I think about that kind of stuff. I just got a text from the homie. Man, appreciate that. Reaper, appreciate you checking for me. Um, that's something y'all got to be on the lookout for. Round Eye Reaper. Um, you can go check our song Knock Knock. It's a whole different style though, but he is on the comeback, and that's gonna be somebody in country rap that's about to make waves. So definitely be checking in for that. Christina, what's up? What's up, Christina? That's a good friend of mine. Y'all ain't ready. Tell them, homie. Hey, if y'all don't know about Round Eye Reaper, like, this is what I'll tell you. Is that there's a lot of people out there that do the whole breakdown of, oh, you'll see a lot of these people in the country rap lane making posts like, oh, does this get me, pretty much like, does this get me country rap brownie points? Does this prove that I'm country? Hell, I've even did this shit. You know what I'm saying? Being at work, showing stuff that I do at work and being like, look at me. How can you say I'm not country? Or the fact that I live, a quarter mile from 3 farms. How can you say I'm not country? Like, I grew up in Piney Flats, Tennessee. Like, how can you say I'm not country? Like, and anybody will tell you that knows me, and if you sit and really pay any attention to me, you can tell I'm not a super country guy. Like I've got country ways about me, and I'm definitely from the country. And I was rapping about making music and being from the country back in 2009. My first mixtape series was the Country Fried mixtape series, and I was just rapping about cooking up music and being from the country. And that was before there was a country rap genre. So I would say like my style of rap is more of what they call in Spotify genres is melodic rap or southern hip hop. But after messing with people like Round Eye and Shaka Hustle, man, I kind of got pulled over into this lane, and I enjoy it. Like I enjoy a lot of the people that I encounter. There's a lot about it that I don't enjoy. Yeah, you're right, Christina. Like I got to the point like that's all I rap about is just what I know, what's going on in my life. And I just wanted to really get on here and kind of as I'm getting older, I'm reflecting on life and reflecting on the paths that I took in the past and then where I'm headed to in the future. And for one, I just wanted to say thank you because I didn't realize that, I'd be able to jump onto a podcast with a young cat like JC. We're from two totally different generations. And, his opinion on a lot of stuff might differ than my opinion, but where we are able to connect on a podcast is just through country rap and just sitting, listening to music. And from what I've seen, like we don't do the biggest numbers, but from what I've seen, like jumping in other people's chats, is that people have enjoyed the podcast. So shout out to y'all. I'm very appreciative of that. We plan on just hitting the gas really with the podcast, trying to upgrade the sound, upgrade the quality, and just upgrade the presentation as much as we can, and just keep bringing the podcast to y'all. And along with that, Monday, I'm doing my first episode of Deep Dive Rap, Religion, and World News. This is something that I wanted to get into. JC does his JC Talks Country, and he's having a lot of success with that. He's constantly interviewing artists that are relevant. It's not just artists that are nobodies. Like he's interviewing truly relevant artists in the game, all the way to legends. Now y'all see why I damn don't go live like this from my actual computer because my damn Wi-Fi ain't shit. So I'm normally on my cell phone, so I don't have issues like this where damn all of a sudden I damn freeze on the screen. But yeah, JC's been doing his thing, and then I wanted to get into different topics. Dive deeper into music and culture and religion and world news and get into topics that I know he's probably not going to want to get into. And the first episode, I couldn't think of a better way than to really, no matter what you think about Upchurch, and I know there's probably a lot of people out there that are like, B Millie's took shots at Upchurch. Why is he doing a podcast about Upchurch? Look, no matter what you think about Ryan Upchurch, he's had an extreme impact on the culture. He shaped the whole country rap genre. You can't go on a country rap live pretty much and listen to it for 10 minutes without seeing his name or hearing his name somewhere. So, yeah, you had adage out there. That sucks. Where you stay at, Lyrica? What state you in? Um, but you can't help but mention Ryan Upchurch if you're talking about the country rap lane. Now, I wasn't one of those guys that was super knowledgeable about Upchurch's history and his career, so I did my research. And to see, first of all, he got big doing the whole Upchurch the redneck thing and had viral stuff online. But then to see his first two albums, his first full album was Billboard charting on the country charts, top 30. Like, that's incredible. That's something that you don't see. Man, what up, Rebel? I see you in the chat. What up, Crystal? Good to see y'all, man. Good to see. Excuse me. Good to see some familiar faces. I'm just on here bullshitting, having a good time, reflecting. You know, I turned 40 on Monday. I'm official OG status, Unk status. Somebody hurry up and clip my burp and repost it. That way we can get some views somewhere. But yeah, as you're going across Upchurch's timeline of his career, like he's had such an impact on music as far as from 2015 to present day. He's had so many albums that have charted, you know, country, rap, rock, and I really hate that it's got to the point that it is now to where it feels like, you know, he's disconnected from the rest of the country rap lane, but that's something that I felt like who better to have as a co-host for that and really dive into that and be able to give me insight into things like, you know, the impact that certain songs have had on people than Dagburn, Johnny Gobble. So shout out to Dagburn, man, for agreeing to do this with me on Monday. 8 p.m. Monday, we will be live doing the deep dive, rap, religion, and world news, Upchurch, music and culture, or Upchurch impact on music and culture. And, you know, I haven't always been the biggest fan of Upchurch and the things that he has to say at certain times, but at the end of the day, whenever you take a drive through East Tennessee, I guarantee you're at least gonna see RATC bumper stickers. You're gonna see Hollow Boy bumper stickers. You're gonna see tattoos on people. If you go watch the Tommy G video that we were in, and you'll see one of Shaka's old homies got the RATC tatted on his hands. It's just something that you really can't damn deny. You can't deny what he's been able to accomplish. And I hope at some point that he's able to get to where he feels comfortable going back out on the road and doing his thing, because he was able to touch a whole lot of fans. And I feel like I hate the fact that I get on all these lives now, different country rap people, and I'm just seeing they can't help but talk about him, but now they're just all talking bad about him. And I'm happy that at Facts No Fences we have stayed away from any kind of drama. The closest that we've got to drama is just me giving some feedback on a song last night, and it wasn't even drama. And but I'll preface it by saying this: I think Shaka Hustlemane is a generational talent in country rap. But whenever I hear a guy who has told friends of ours, hey, I'm not a fighter, that's just not who I am. And then I keep seeing him in music videos, you know, shadow boxing and stuff. It's like, come on, Shaka, that's just not who you are, bro. Like, you are that country kid that carries guns around and might shoot somebody. Like, that's you, yeah. But you're not this guy that's going to go out here and be fighting. So just leave that to somebody else. And as me and Round Eye Reaper have spoke about recently, like these days, the highest value that you can have is authenticity. Like that's the new currency nowadays is authenticity, because you can see it all over a person. And I hate to see, you know, young homies like Lil Spooky out here. A year ago, I joked to him and said, "Hey, when are you gonna be rocking a Confederate flag?" And he laughed at me and said, "I'll never do that." And then I look at a music video and see him hanging out the damn back of a car with a Confederate flag wrapped around him. And it's like, that's who Shaka wants you to be. That's not who you are, bro. Be you. Man, man, they are, brother. And Rebel's one of them guys like Rebel's a one of a kind person, and I feel like, you know, this is me speaking, not Rebel, so but I feel like Shaka kind of turned his back on him, because that's a person that held him down since we first met him. And I see Shaka going and doing these different things, and I'm not seeing Rebel pop up, you know, like he always has before. And it's like, why are you getting away from your roots? Like, what made you popular was being this humble country kid from Elizabethton, Tennessee that people were able to connect with. Whenever you started to disconnect with your fan bases, whenever you went to Detroit, started making a different style sound and having like a different gangster style look, and it's like that's just not you, brother. Get back to who you are. You're not no fighter. You're not a gangster, and that's fine. You don't have to be. There's no brownie points out here for going and fighting somebody and ending up in jail. Like you don't get points for that. You're a good dad. You get points for that. You're a hell of a talent. You get points for that. You're somebody that at times has been one of the best friends I've ever had in my life that stood by me through shit that other people wouldn't have. You get points for that. Like, be that guy. And that's what's going to get you places. Tim, love you, Bubba. Originality, exactly. Originality. Tim is a great guy that I've been blessed to meet through music, and we met at the Zarate shop in Abingdon, Virginia. Shout out to Ace Miller. Ace gave a lot of opportunities. That's something I'll speak on too. People don't realize like Ace Miller is behind the fact that I was able to do a show with Tech Nine and have the opportunity to bring somebody on my set like Shaka Hustle, man. He's the reason that I was able to reconnect with Jelly Roll after being in prison and locked up for years. I was able to reconnect with him, see him in person, talk to him, sit down and kick it for a minute. And Ace is the reason that, you know, bigger collabs have happened with some artists that, you know, I don't think that he necessarily wants to take credit for that. So I'll leave that between him and those people. But Ace is the reason that, you know, I did a show with Shaka and DJ Paul. Ace has been the reason behind a lot of big things that happen in some local artists' careers. So shout out to Ace Miller. Ace is the GOAT. Hell yeah, Chaos. That's what's up, brother. Good to hear. And that's something like earlier, the homie Chaos called me up. Like, I'm one of these guys, whenever I see these people, like people tell me, hey, such and such was over in this chat talking about you last night. And I'm like, why do people care about me so much? Like, why am I still a topic of discussion? I'm still a guy that just gets up and goes to work every day, just like a regular person. I am a regular person. I come home, do this podcast stuff because it's something I found that I have a passion for, and then I do music whenever I'm really feeling the vibe to do music. And that's something I wanted to give y'all a preview on as well, as I do have some new music on the way. I've got a big collab coming with a bigger AI artist. I've got to finish my verse. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. Right now is it's hard to keep up with the AI on a song. I'm gonna challenge any artist out there to get with a high level AI making artist and tell them to leave you an open verse. And I want you to try to get on that song and match them as far as the way they're able to spit and match the quality. It is not easy to do. Man, it was a great thing and very short lived. The Zarate show was like, man, it did so much for the local scene that I was so thankful. Like, we were finally having a local business that was showing love to local artists. Whenever, shout out to Cheryl Yarber, good friend of mine. She invited me out to the first, one of the first bigger shows. It was Young Buck, Lil White. It was the one that Jelly ended up showing up to. And when Ace found out that I was a local artist that had some connections with these bigger artists that work with them, he was quick to show love and put me on the next show that they had, which was Struggle Jennings headlining. And I got to reconnect with Strug. I hadn't saw Strug in years. It was good to sit and kick it with him and talk to him. And then later I got to see him. He invited Shaka, and Shaka brought me along. We went out to Knoxville and kicked it with him backstage and on his tour bus. I'll tell you this, you know, as I'm shouting people out, I've been on 2 tour buses in my life of artists. The very first one was Adam Calhoun. So never take that away from Adam Calhoun. He invited some young talented artists out that he saw something in. I was able to come along, and that was the first tour bus I was on. And this was before him, and this was after him and Church had did the whole Taylorsville thing, and this was before they started having beef again. And he didn't have anything bad to say about Church. I will say that. So to me and Shaka, we saw it as, hey, the beef is really dead. Like, there's nothing to really think about there. Hell, so that's when Shaka started working. Man, I'm sorry, y'all. Damn. This is why I don't live stream like this. I wish I could, but I'm about to get a new PC and hopefully I can upgrade the damn internet around here to where it's not cutting out. Tim, that would be awesome. It would be awesome to see because I believe that it was really doing something great for the local area to have the bigger artists come in. And then you saw, I think I was one of the first, me and Mascotti were the first local artists from Virginia and Tennessee that got the opportunity to really perform on these stages with somebody like Tech Nine. Like, whenever people from other states were seeing that I did a show with Tech Nine, they thought that I had paid for an opening slot, and it's like, nah, that's not where I'm at in life. Like, I had done that early on in my career, but nah. But something that I want to say, like, I'm still that guy that's really, like I was saying a minute ago, I'm still that guy that works every day just as happy to be able to do this and have anybody that is interested in watching. When the homie Chaos hit me up earlier today and said, hey, I was at the gas station and I was playing some of Yours and Shaka music, and there was a young kid that said, hey, that's B Millie and Shaka. Like, that shit surprised me and made me feel good. You know what I mean? Like, of course I've heard stuff like that over the years, and there's been times I've went to pick my son up and I've had little kids run up to me and ask me to sign stuff, but I'm still, to me, I'm still just regular old Millie or Brian to people that really know me. So that stuff really surprises me. Man, I appreciate that, Mikey. Hey, that's what they don't realize, brother, is that literally, like, I became very well known in the country rap lane, and it's been, some of it was for good, but most of it was for negative. But what they don't realize is that they introduced a whole lot of people to me that had no clue who I was just because they keep saying my name, talking shit about me. And it's like, if y'all were intelligent and y'all really wanted to get rid of me, y'all would stop saying my name, because this is what y'all do whenever y'all say my name so much. You encourage people like Mikey to come over here and see, like, what is this B Millie guy about that I keep hearing him talk shit about. And if someone really gets to know me, they realize, like, as long as I'm on the straight and narrow, which I have been for the most part over the last 3 years, there's been times where I've strayed off the path, and I've had negative come along with it, whether it was true or false. God definitely made me pay for my sins. And right now I'm doing great in life. And the one thing that I want to leave a message for the young kids out there that are coming up wanting to do music, or the young fathers out there that are coming up in this lane trying to do music. I'm a dad of two sons. One of them is 10 years old and one of them is 14 years old. I turned 40 on Monday. I will get to see, have both my sons this weekend, but because of this music and past addiction problems, I don't have the connection with my sons that I should have. We have a good time together, yeah, but oftentimes, like, they're not encouraged to come see their dad because they're used to their dad. Many, many weekends that I was supposed to be with them, I was off doing music. Or many times when I was supposed to be spending time with them, I was on this doing music stuff, or I was recording music. I was focused on music so much that I didn't give them the attention that they should have been getting whenever I did have them. which it was already limited. But that's what I'll tell y'all young fathers out there, that unless this music is something that's paying your bills, don't ever let it take a second away from you and your kids when you're supposed to be with your kids. If you're a full-time parent and you're able to, go do shows and have a babysitter, that's one thing. But if you're a dad like me that has limited time with your kids, that time that you're supposed to be with your kids, give 100% of your attention to your kids, because if you don't, they will grow older and they will resent you and you will live to regret that. And that's a big regret of mine. So I want to throw that message out there. I would be remiss if I didn't keep it real and say that, because that's something that has been a harsh reality of mine here recently, and almost caused me to quit doing music. I had announced that I was quitting doing music, but I still do have a good amount of free time that I can record music and put out music. I may not pursue it as diligently as I have in the past, but I'm still able to do it, and it's something I enjoy. So I figure, why not? But I didn't want to get on here too long, and I'm sorry that I've cut in and out with y'all. I just wanted to get on here and tell y'all thank you so much to everybody that has supported me over the years. Thank you to everyone that has supported the Facts No Fences podcast. And stay tuned in. Tuesday, our episode is going to be what makes you country. And we're really going to go through and look at some of these country rap artists and point out the ones that we feel like are really country and the ones that we feel like are putting on country cosplay, so to speak. And if that's not who they are, they're not country, that's fine, but quit putting on the cosplay and calling yourself a country guy. Thank you, Crystal. I try to be a good dad, and I definitely am whenever I get a chance. You think you would ever link up with Bro, I've got songs with Shotgun Shane. I've got like 3 or 4 of them. His name used to be Lil Frost, and I've got multiple songs with him. If we did a new song, yeah, it would definitely make the haters talk. But I've known Shotgun Shane since he was 13, and I was like, how? I was like 23. We met doing music, and we collabed whenever he was like probably 17. And I was like 25, 26. But I've known Shotgun Shane for a long time. Yeah, I could definitely reach out to Shotgun Shane and do a song with him. But the last conversation that I had with him wasn't so pleasant, because Shaka was going in on him about him having the Square Body song and him not even owning the Square Body, and Shaka didn't know that about him. And I kind of broke it down. If you go look up B Millie and Lil Frost, you can find some Shotgun Shane and B Millie songs out there. And for all y'all that want to clip something and put something out there for humor, I say something about on my business like I'm Diddy in one of the songs with Shotgun Shane. So there you go. There's a free gift to the haters out there. Take that and do what you want with it. But man, I just want to say thank you to those that have supported me. I appreciate y'all that support JC and his interviews. I think that y'all are really going to enjoy the new podcast that I've got coming Monday. I'm really going to do my best to give you kind of a documentary style look at Ryan Upchurch's life and his, musical and cultural impact, and have Dagburn play some songs for y'all that really have impact and have him give some insight. And I think that'll be a dope episode. And Tuesday, we're going to have a dope episode of Facts No Fences. So definitely stay tuned. Bigger and better things are coming. I've got new music in the works, collabs, maybe an album, maybe not. I'm not going to promise y'all anything, but know that I'm going to keep at this. As long as there's anybody out there listening, I'm going to stay doing it. You know what I'm saying? JC is a cool young buck. Hey, yeah, JC is a cool young buck. And that's a conversation that I had to have with JC earlier today. Was like, I don't know how the younger generation looks at it because, like, I know there's so much backstabbing and shit that goes on within this industry, but I just wanted him to know from my point of view that I'm always wanting to see him rise up. Like, so anything that he does that's good, whether it involves me or not, I'm always over here clapping. Same thing that I've always been with artists that I mess with. I've always been the type that even if it took me taking a step back for them to take a step forward, I was willing to do so. And you can go pretty much look at any artist that I have worked with, and I promise you that after I worked with them or was cool with them, that they were at a higher level than whenever I met them. And I'm not saying that's because of me, but I'm telling you that I know this music game. Um, I know what works, I know what doesn't work, and I'm good at helping other people bring out the best in themselves. And I'll just say that much, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Much love. Uh Rebel, love you homie. Crystal, much love. Mikey, man, be good, brother. Yeah, stay tuned in, man. I got some dope music coming. If you haven't yet, go on Spotify or shit, go through my releases on my page and you'll be able to see that I've worked with Jelly Roll, Lil White. If you dig deep through the YouTube archives somewhere, you can find a song with me and a DMC from Run DMC. If you dig real deep, you'll find a song with me and Chrome that used to be run with 3 6. He was on Hypnotize Minds. You can see a lot of dope stuff. Go to Grind All Night TV, which was my old YouTube channel that was monetized, and you'll see that I've been doing this for a long time and was I've rubbed elbows with quite a bit of people in this industry, and I've did a lot of work in this industry. It's crazy that I'm about to be 40 years old. I always said that if I wasn't paying the bills of music by 40, I was done. But hey, times have changed, and I do get some money from this music, but that, it's not enough to pay bills nowadays. I tell y'all that. Y'all have a hell of a weekend. Check out JC and me Tuesday and Monday. Check out the Deep Dive podcast with me and Dagburn. I promise y'all enjoy it. Love y'all.